The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
I always equated training to mental toughening.
Welcome to the Business Pump Podcast.
It has the potential to change your whole life.
Connect with fitness professionals and turn your passion for fitness into a successful business.
Hard work is the first, second, and third part of the formula.
You gotta keep moving, let's go. Don't quit till you got nothing left.
And now your host, Michael Groff.
What's up, Michael here, and welcome back to the Business Pump Podcast. As always, if you're new here on the show, I interview fitness professionals who turn their passion for fitness into a successful business. So if that interests you, feel free to subscribe to the show anywhere you're listening to this podcast right now so that you can be updated when we launch a new episode every single week. Also, we're still in the giveaway for a brand new Theragun Mini in celebration of the launch of this podcast. If you haven't entered in yet, you can do so by going to fittermedia.com/BP. That's fitrmedia.com/BP, and you can see all the details on how to enter over there. Also, this show is really new, but if you have been listening for the past few weeks, I would be very honored if you could leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That will just help get the show out to more people. But in this episode, I'm going to be playing some clips of some previous episodes on this podcast where guests have talked about how they use Facebook groups to get clients for their fitness business. I'm going to be playing 2 really powerful clips. One is from an interview I did with Brian Parody. He owns a successful online personal training business, and he has really utilized Facebook groups to grow his business. The second clip is going to be with a recent interview with Sean Garner. If you do not know who Sean Garner is, he has been featured in Men's Health. He has owned multiple CrossFit gyms, and he now helps fitness professionals grow and scale their fitness business. And he also had some really powerful tips on how you can use Facebook groups to grow your business, because when first starting a business, cash is really limited. Trust me, I know. And Facebook groups are completely free, and you can find some really good people in some Facebook groups that want what you have to offer. So without any further ado, here is this week's episode. How would they go about getting their first client? Should they offer a free training for free to start, or like how would that work? Like, how did you do it?
So there's a lot of different things you can do. For me, I had people come and asking me questions before I even had it. So I had at least a few people that were interested in hiring me once I got that, as far as local people. For the online space, I highly recommend a funnel system. So, something to where you can either sign them up to a text community or an email list, and they get something free in return, whether it's a little workshop or whether it's a PDF. That way you begin to have something you can offer them and you get their information in return. And then you can send out weekly emails or create a Facebook group and begin to build a community. And I can't stress, just be relational. Don't try to sell, because the more you try to sell, the less people you're going to have want to buy from you. Just be there, answer questions, and don't be afraid of giving away too much. I was really afraid of that at first. Like, well, if I tell them all this stuff, then they're not going to hire me. But it's really the opposite. It's like the more you give, the more people want to hire you. It's kind of weird how this works. I've had people hire me and I've literally told them everything they need to do beforehand, but they want the accountability and they want to work with me. So
basically, it's almost like they're paying access to you almost.
It really is. And I think we get caught up in they're buying a product, but nobody, again, it comes back to brand. I don't go out and buy Under Armour because it's easy or accessible. I love the brand. I love that Dwayne Johnson has his, I'm a huge, so I have a connection to that. And for someone else, it could be Nike or Adidas. There's some kind of thing that draws them to that. And so just like that, we're drawn to different people. We're drawn to their personalities. We're drawn to, whatever it is, the things they have to say. Some people love Gary Vee, some people hate him. You know what I mean? So everybody's drawn to somebody different. So people are hiring you not for your knowledge, but for you as a person. And I think that's important to realize.
So from you personal, like branding yourself personally, have you noticed that helping to get more clients you'd like, your ideal client you'd like to work with? Because I know some people like working with certain people more than others. Like, how did that work? Did that help?
It did. And once I leaned into that more, I began to get more of people that I gel with very well. Not to say that you always have a perfect client, but it's still people who are like-minded. Because obviously if they're listening to you, people are watching you for a long time before they choose to hit that buy button. And if they don't know you, if they haven't built a rapport with you, they're never going to hit that buy button. And I think that's important to understand. Like, it takes time. You have to build that trust there. And then once that trust is there, then it's easy. But yeah, you're naturally, be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not because you think, oh, people want me to be this way. No, the people that you're going to draw. And that's just the way it is. So be yourself, be authentic, and build that relationship.
Yeah. So once someone finds their target market and so they did everything you said and they know exactly who they want to work with, who makes them excited to work with, how do they get more people like that?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's where a lot of people will skip over some of the foundational stuff because they just want to get right into like let's build a website, or I need to get an app, and I need to start shooting all these exercise library videos and stuff like that. And they'll create a product, and then they'll be like, okay, now who's going to buy this thing? Like, instead of finding your tribe, then you find out, what needs they have. Then you create products that serve and add value to that tribe. So what's honestly awesome is if you truly know who you want to serve and market to, the internet is a huge place. You can find your people online. Like, there is somebody who has already connected the group of people that you want to serve. Like, I feel pretty confident nobody is out there creating new niches. Everybody that you're wanting to try and attract online, somebody has already done that. What I would say I see, and people might understand that concept, but what I see people kind of make the mistake is, all they just try to do is go find that niche already existed in fitness. And that's not what I'm saying. So let's talk about that mother, right? She just had her first kid. She's super excited, but now she knows she wants to get back in shape and everything. How would you connect with more people like that? You would not want to go in and find women's mother fitness groups. Somebody has already done that, right? Where you want to go is to become the expert in it, and to stand out is you want to find other mothers groups that have nothing to do with fitness and go be the fitness expert in that group. So for example, it would be like stay-at-home mom groups on Facebook. There would be blogs that you could connect with that, emails like that, podcasts that you could go on and be the fitness guest to talk to them about that.
But it's funny you mentioned finding groups that aren't necessarily in your niche, but that hold your target audience. Because one of the guys I had on the show a few weeks ago, his name was Brian Parody, and he, over the years, built up a successful online personal training business. He started as a side hustle, and now it's like almost a full-time gig. He still has his full-time job just because he loves it. Yeah. But it's a successful online training business, and that's actually one of the techniques he covered in the episode, is how he went to groups that had the guys he wanted to work with, but weren't necessarily fitness groups. And then over time, he built himself up as like an expert in fitness. And then guys just started coming to him and saying, hey, I need help with this. Can you help me? And that's one of the biggest techniques he used.
Yeah, that's all. Because if you go into another, like using that example right there, like whenever I did my online training, it was called Project Dad Bod. And so I was looking for that dad, 35 to 45. If I went to other dad fitness groups, like, it's going to look pretty shady, and they're going to instantly know what you're up to, because they're going to look at your profile like, man, I can let this guy in. So instead of trying to go in there and steal from somebody else what they've created, what you want to do is find like each one of these. When you're breaking it down, like your dream client, right? You've got your characteristics and everything. You've got your target market, and you've got your niche. So your characteristics is like the thing we were talking about, like some of the psychographics and like what makes that person unique and what you like about them. The target market, that's those demographics and like the age, sex, city, like income, those kind of things. And then the niche is the area of expertise that you serve within those two things. So those first two things, those character traits and your target market that make up your dream client, guys, there's 1,000 different niches that just serve those. There's accountants that serve those niches. There's doctors that serve those niches. There's auto mechanic places that serve those niches. So what you need to do is you need to know somebody has already gathered those characteristics and target markets that you like. Go be the fitness expert in those different ways. And that's the niche that you can go, because people that have created those groups already, they're looking for ways to add more value to their group. So if you can come in there as the fitness niche to add value to it, that's how you're going to stand out and be successful.
Mm-hmm. That's actually one thing I thought about as you were talking. If, say, you join a Facebook group and you have a fitness business, but the group ain't fitness related, it's a lot easier to keep how should I say it? A really good relationship with like the group owners, because you're not like trying to do exactly what they're trying to do. As long as you're helping their audience, they're totally fine with it. Because right now you're tapping into my audience, but we're not in the same thing. I can easily refer them over to you, and I can know that you help them, or you can do the same thing, vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're on this podcast. Like, not a big surprise, anybody here. Like, if you want to know what Tony Robbins always has this quote, success leaves clues. Like, guys, copy this. Literally, go find a podcast that also connects and serves your niche, but doesn't do the exact same thing with you, and go connect with them. Like, there is literally like thousands. Trust me, I did this because I paid an assistant to script it out for me. There are thousands of fitness podcasts out there. So that's just another huge opportunity for you. There's already people that have gathered your target market that they're looking to serve. Go there and be that fitness expert for it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Business Pump Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. And stay connected with Michael on social media at @BMichaelGroff on all platforms.